I would like to introduce to you Margaret's second daughter, Helen Jeremias Lowe. Helen wasn't told the full story of her mother's experience until she was older. Now she shares her mother's story.
Hi, my name is Helen Jeremias Lowe, and I was born in New York City in 1949. And my parents are Margot, officially Marguerite Gunther Jeremias, and my father was Martin Jeremias. Both of these towns all had synagogues. I've gone back since, with my husband and my mother. So I can visualize these towns now. And life was good until various laws were passed and children started being mean to my mother in school, and they were sent home early because there was a lot of classes to brainwash kids. So many years ago, I read a study of second generation. I used to have trouble remembering even the names of the camps my mother went to, and apparently this is very common, that you almost block out details because they're too painful. She remembers it very clearly. She remembers the sound of the destruction of the glass. Her father was arrested. I guess a lot of men were. Her mother went and spoke to somebody in a nearby town and did get him released, I think because he had fought in World War I. He was released, but it was a very scary time. And my aunt her older sister was sent to the U.S. because she was old enough to work and get an affidavit. You couldn't come unless you had somebody here who was willing to vouch for you and say they would take care of you if you couldn't find a job. So my mother wasn't old enough for that, but my aunt was. Early memories, I do remember periods when I was young having nightmares all the time, and my mother later told me that she saw it because she was having a very difficult time. You know, she went through periods where she was struggling, and I think I was older when she started really telling me things, and I heard things in bits and pieces. It was never an entire narrative, certainly at that point. I would hear bits and pieces. You know, I heard more about the good days in their childhood than about what happened during the war until I was older.